Hi there, Kinjal. So you've written more essays for us. Very happy to see that. Let's take a look at what you wrote today. The first one is the pie chart about school subjects. Okay, you didn't include it. Let me see if I can find it before we begin. Okay, I located it, so that's fine. Just try to remember to include the image in your file when you send it to us, all right? It's very helpful. So the two pie charts illustrate, no S, how different school subject distributed to the education of New South Wales percentage-wise. Okay. Grammar is a problem here, Kinjal, so let's try it again. The two pie charts illustrate how different school subjects were distributed in terms of preference in New South Wales in the years 2014-17. That's why I would change that. Overall, at the beginning of the period, chemistry studied the least to the educate of New South Wales, while geography was the most significant subject of education department. In comparison, at the end of the period, biology became the largest studied subject, and the lowest education was made by IT subject. Okay, so we've got some problems here. First of all, for an overview, it was a little too detailed for me. A little too much information. I would have just limited it a little bit. And also, again, it's things with word choice and grammar. So let's try it one more time. Chemistry was the least preferred subject in New South Wales, while geography was the most popular. In comparison, at the end of the period, biology was the most popular subject, and the least favored was IT. All right, that's how you can make these changes to make them appropriate. All right, and then it's not so wordy, so it almost gets away with being an overview. I probably, if it was up to me, I probably would have just said that, this is it, isn't it? Wait, let me try it again. Here it is. Okay, I probably would have said, well, geography was the most favored subject in 2014. This was overtaken 3 years later by, what is it here? I think it's biology, no? Yeah, okay. So that's probably all I would have said, and then I just would have gotten out of there, and I would have started with my details. So, biology, don't call biology subject, just call biology. So biology accounted for 13.4% of New South Wales education, not really, in 2014, and experienced, didn't experience almost double, and it almost doubled in 2017. The subject of physics was 19.4 in 2014 and had a slight growth of 2% in 2017. At the beginning of the period, subjects of IT and history remained constant, and at the end of the period, these subjects rose, there shouldn't be a capital here, to 1.4 and 19.4 respectively. Now this is a really interesting figure, this 19.4, so I would prefer that you didn't just kind of casually mention it. It's a huge growth, all right? Maths, which, it's not that it was studied, maths was just preferred. So maths, which was preferred by almost a quarter of students in New South Wales in 2014, fell to 12.2 in 2017. In 2014, education outputs from geography and PE, no subjects, were, not apostrophe, it's not we're, it's were, at 27.7 and 8% respectively, and these figures fell to 18.7 and 3.2. Chemistry was a new subject. We don't know that it was a new subject. This is bizarre. Chemistry didn't appear anywhere in 2017. It's the one that was gone. It just disappeared. It's like nobody preferred it. So I don't understand this. Chemistry was new in 2014, represented 1%. So that doesn't make sense at all. You want to say that chemistry was favored only by 1% in 2014, and in 2017 did not even make it onto the pie chart. Okay, something like that. So really, Kinjal, we're having tons of problems with your grammar. I need you to revise. Take a look at some model task 1s to help you understand the language that you need to be using in these exercises. Okay, so let's keep going. and look at the one about weddings, the benefits, the disadvantages of spending a lot on them. Experts, plural. There's not just one expert, there's many experts. So, throughout both the developing and developed world have debated whether spending more money on wedding, its benefit or not for our lives. All right, grammar. Whether spending more money on a wedding is beneficial or not for our lives. Some believe that celebrating weddings extravagantly, because that's what we're talking about. We're not talking about whether to celebrate or not to celebrate. We're talking about whether we should spend a lot of money on that celebration. So some believe that celebrating a wedding extravagantly has benefit. Personally, I strongly disagree. This essay will argue that, firstly, the benefits of spending money on a wedding. Secondly, what do you mean? Secondly, it will discuss that such celebrations are a waste of money. One sentence, using examples from the recent research study of time of India and Oxford University demonstrate points, plural points, improve arguments, plural arguments. All right, let's keep going. On one hand, there is ample evidence that an expensive wedding has many benefits. The central reason behind this is twofold. First, it creates memories that the couples can remember for their life. All right, you have to back that up. Don't just go to the secondly. Each main idea that you have has to be supported with some sort of illustration, some sort of explanation, something. Okay? Secondly, it is also an opportunity for young people to celebrate their happiness with their friends and family. For example, a recent empirical research study by Times of India newspaper demonstrated that 80% of money per family spent on traditional customs travel. What? That doesn't make sense. Let's see what you said. It's an opportunity for them to celebrate their happiness. And then you said 80% of money is spent on traditional customs? So what does that have to do with anything? I'm very confused. It must not be forgotten that although hard work has being due by people during a lifetime, they spend too much money on this occasion to make it memorable and to show off their wealth and status. Therefore, it is conclusively clear that although I have no idea what this word means, is not important. Only lots of throwing on wedding. Lots of other things are important in our lives. All right. I'm not understanding what you're trying to say, Kinjal. At first I understood you, up to here I was fine. Okay, up to this sentence. But then you started talking about this 80% of money. Then you started talking about hard work to make the occasion memorable and to show off their status. And so I don't know what we're talking about. Are we talking about the benefits of this, or are we talking about the negatives of this? I mean, when you say too much money, it's as if you're saying it's a bad thing to do this. When you say too much money to show off your wealth and status. So then here you even confirm it. So it's not a cohesive paragraph when you tell me that spending a lot of money has benefits, and then by the end of the paragraph you're saying, no, there are other things that are more important. Don't do this. Don't spend money on weddings. It's very confusing, and there's no central idea, and I'm just not following your train of thought, I'm afraid, okay? Let's look at the second paragraph. On the other hand, a big wedding can also waste a lot more money. This is largely because couples can achieve better things in their life with this money. For example, an extensive study by Oxford University showed that over 60% children could not study caused by money. Consistent with this line of thinking is that some people who take loans, spelled totally incorrectly, to celebrate their marriage lavishly. All right, it's not a full sentence. The whole grammar here is just full of problems. They have to grapple with the debt for years to come, and that will take away all the joy in their life. This is possible to state beyond doubt. Thus, it is possible to state beyond doubt that people can invest money for the children's education. No, that's not what you're trying to prove here. You're trying to prove that big weddings are a waste of money, okay? And this is largely because people can spend that money in ways that are far more meaningful and helpful to their lives. For example, an extensive study by Oxford University, no full stop here, showed that over 60% of children could not study because their parents could not afford it. This was typically found in cultures where families throw lavish weddings. Okay, then you make the connection. Okay, consistent with the line of thinking is that some people, okay, take loans, Loans, to celebrate their wedding lavishly. They have to grapple with the debt for years to come. All right, that's going a little too far. That will take away all the joy in their life. Creating huge burdens for the future. Okay? Then this is not the connection that you make here. Thus, it is possible to state beyond doubt that people should prefer to save their money rather than spend it on weddings. From the arguments and examples given, I firmly, careful with your typing, believe that although spending a lot of money on a wedding is not of major importance in our lives, other things are much more important. No ly. It is predicted that saving money for use in the future is a much better idea. It's not predicted, it is believed, it is felt, it is thought. Okay, it's not a prediction for the future. So this paragraph really confused me. You talked about benefits, and then you started talking about how, I mean, there was things like this, like too much money, that shows off the wealth and the status. It's not important to throw a lot of money. So I was really confused. All right, you've got to make some changes to this, so go ahead and get that done. Make the changes you need to make, bring them back as corrected, and let's look at what you write next time, okay? I hope this feedback is helping. I hope you're finding it useful, and that you're learning from it to help you improve. All right, good luck with your next set of essays. I'll be waiting to see what you write.